Hello everyone. So today we'll continue with our CAT previous year question series, and this will be the LRDI set number 77 from CAT 2018 paper. Now we'll look at the question. So the question says 7 candidates A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H, till G were invited to an interview for a position. Candidates were required to reach the venue before 8 a.m. Immediately upon arrival, they were sent to one of the three interview rooms, 101, 102, or 103. The following venue log shows arrival time of these candidates. Some of the names have been recorded in the log and other have been marked as question mark. So we know 7:10 a.m. ko Akhil was here, and there was this another person which we don't know. There was one on 7:15, one on 7:25, Chitra on 7:30, Fatima on 7:40, and one on 7:45. Additionally, there are some statements from the candidates. First candidate, Balram says, I was the third person to enter room number 101. So in 101, we have three rooms, 101, 102, and 103. So Balram was the third person to enter room number 101. So this was Balram, the third person entering room number 101. Okay, we are done with the first statement. The second statement says, Chitra says, I was the last person to enter the room I was allotted to. Okay, so Chitra says that she was the last person to enter the room she was allotted to. Now, it can be the case that there is a fourth person who is Chitra, who there's a fourth person going in 101 who is Chitra. Then that means Balram will come before Chitra because Balram was the third person. This can be one of the case. Or the other case can be that she may enter any of the other two rooms at the end, either room number 102 or room number 103. So for now, we cannot comment on the room and the position of Chitra. Coming to the third statement, it says, Arina says, I was the only person in the room I was allotted to. That means Arina can be either in room number 102 or room number 103. This or this, she cannot be in 101 because she was the only person who was allotted to her room. And we already know that there is B allotted to room number 101. ठीक है, तो हमने ये देख लिया एरिना या फिर तो 101 में 2 में होगी या फिर 103 में होगी. The fourth statement says Fatima says that three people including Akhil were already in the room I was allotted to when I entered it. So three people were already there in the room when she entered. Okay, which can be any room. Suppose E is in 103, let us say. So it can be possible. Can it be possible that three people were already there when Fatima entered room number 102? Is it possible? We know we have 7 candidates. So 3 plus 4 already makes it 7. And then this E will be 8th. But we know that there are only 7 candidates. So can F, which is Fatima, be the fourth person in any of 102 or 103? Because Fatima says that 3 people were already there, including Akhil, when she entered the room. So that room has to be 101, and Fatima has to be the fourth person in 101 because she cannot be the fourth person in 102 or 103, because if she is the fourth person in 102 instead of 101, then we already have 3 plus 4 people over here. E has to be the eighth person, and it is not possible as we only have 7 candidates. So Fatima has to be the 4th person in 101. ठीक है? E is either here or E is here. We don't know where yet. And Fatima is the 4th person in 101. This much we are clear of. Now Ganeshan says, I was among the 2 candidates allotted in room 102. So we know that out of these two, in 102, there were 2 candidates. That means E cannot be in 101. For sure, E is in 103. And E is the only person in 103. And G is among the 2 people who were there in room number 102. We know that one among these is G, either this one or this one. ठीक है? Now we are done with the this statement also. Ab ek statement, only one statement is left, which says, Chitra, I was the last person to enter the room I was allotted to. Now we know that E is the only person in 103. How many people are we done with? 4 over here, 2 over here, and 1 over here. If we sum this up, 7 people. So we know that in 101, F is the last person. In 103, E is the only person. So the only place left for Chitra to be the last person in the room Chitra was allotted to was 102. She can only be the last person in 102. That means this G will come here. This G will come here. Okay. Now we have to fill up the time slots as well. Now we have filled up the positions. Now we know that Akhil is coming at first and then D is coming. In 101, we have A, D, B, F. In 102, we have G and C, and in 103, we have E. Now we have distributed the candidates in the rooms, but we also need to find out that who is coming at what time. How will we do that? We know that Akhil is coming at 7:10. We know that C is the last person to enter in 102. That means G should come before C. We know that either G is here or G is here or G is here. G has to come before C. Okay. Now, if we talk about F, Fatima, she says that 3 people, including Akhil, were already there in the room when she entered. That means D and B also has to come before F. So basically, G has to come before C and D and B has to come before F. We know that A is coming before F. D and B also needs to come before F because Fatima, when she entered, 3 people were already there. These 3 were already there. So before C and F, how many question marks do we have? We have 3 question marks. One this one this one, and one this one. So out of these 3, one has to be G, one has to be D, and one has to be B. Because before C, G has to come, and before F, D and B has to come. So E has to be 745. The remaining person is E, and that will be 745. Now, for these 3, we don't know the order. They can be in any order, but these 3 question marks are G, D, and B. In any order, we don't know the order. Okay. Clear so far? We are done with the statement also. Now I will come to the questions. So the question one says, what best can be said about the room to which Divya was allotted? We know that D was allotted to room number 101. So इसका answer क्या है? C. Definitely room number 101. Second question says, who else was in room number 102 when Ganeshan entered? When Ganeshan entered, who was there in room number 102? We know that Chitra was the last person to enter room number 102. So when Ganeshan entered, there was no one in the room because there are only two people in 102. Okay, pretty simple questions now. Now the third question says, when did E reach the venue? We know that E reached the venue at 7:45 a.m. Okay, so answer is A, 7:45 a.m. Now the last question says, if G entered the venue before D, when did Balram enter the venue? It says G entered the venue before D. When did Balram enter the venue? We know that Balram said, I was the third person to enter the room. That means, and F also said she was the fourth person because three people were already there. So this place of Balram third and this place of Fatima is fixed, that they are third and fourth. And we know that A came in the beginning at 7:10 only. So this A is also fixed. We know that second has to be D. Either he can come with A at 7:10 or at 7:15, but he has to come second because third and fourth are B and F respectively. So it says, the question says, if G entered the venue before D. So the only two positions for D is, we know D has to come before B. So this last position cannot be D because in that case, either of these two has to be B and B cannot come before D. D has to come before B. So D cannot come here. He has to be either this or this, D. Now we are saying that G entered before D. So if D can be this or this, and we know that G came before D, then we know that this is G, this is D, and this will be B. Then only G will come before D and B will come B will come after D. So if this is the case, when did B enter the venue? So when did B enter? 7:25. So the answer will be A, 7:25 a.m. So I hope the following set was clear to you. A pretty simple set, and I hope it was clear to everyone. For any further queries, you can reach out to us on the following number, or you can reach out to us on WhatsApp or the given email ID. Thank you.